Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Atif and this is a summary of today's lesson. Today we resumed our lesson for Unit 6 English to Read book, page number 86 and 87. As you know that this whole unit is all about stories, myths, fables, mythical creatures and proverbs. So this lesson 4 is also about a story and also about some proverbs. So in last lesson we have started this lesson 4. We have completed first two exercises. So today we resumed our lesson from activity 3, page number 87. So this lesson is activity 3 is about read the story again and complete the story notes 1 to 5 in your notebooks. We have these notes to complete, so I read these notes in class so the students can understand. Number 1, they have to answer. The story has just got two characters. They have to write the names of those characters. Then they have to tell the setting of the story. Setting means the place where story occurs. So then in a third note, they have to talk about the problem that we found in the story. Like you can say the story of this text. An activity for fourth note was what happens in order to resolve the problem. And the last one is the resolution of the story, the moral of the story, the lesson in that story. So I asked the students to complete it. So the student participated very well and they answered the questions. So then I displayed the answers as well. So these are the answers of activity 3. After that we discussed activity 4. Activity 4 is about proverbs. In this activity I asked the students to read these proverbs and tell me the meanings. So we discussed it one by one. I encourage the students to participate in this activity and try to guess the meaning. I help them to understand it, and so the students participated. So the first proverb is many hands make light work. So it means that when we work together, okay, like teamwork. So teamwork, the benefit of teamwork is that teamwork make the work easier. So this is the meaning of the first proverb. Then second one, you cannot have a fight alone. So this means that a human being cannot live alone. Human being needs relations, relatives, people around them because human being is a social animal. So human beings cannot survive alone. Okay, if a person wants to live alone and if he or she thinks that he or she do not need anyone else, so he or she is mistaken because you cannot survive alone. So it means that you cannot have a fight alone. Then it takes an entire village to raise a child. It means that a human being's child is the most difficult job to raise, okay, and it requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of things to do to raise a child, to feed him, to protect him from disease, from illness, from sickness, to protect him or her when he or she was a little child and cannot explain his or her needs, but still human beings, his or her parents have that job to take care of that child. So next one was a man's home is his castle. It means that a man's home is his castle means that if you have a home, so consider it like you are king and this is your palace. Do not complain about if it's not too much big or if it's not too much beautiful. Try to make it beautiful with happiness and joy. Try to protect it. Try to make it comfortable for you and try to thank God for that blessing because if you have a home to live in, then it means that you have everything you need. So it means that a man's home is his castle, and he is the king of that home. A fall in a ditch makes you wiser, which means that humans learn from their mistake. So if you are a wise person, if you are a wise man, then you should learn with your mistakes because it's not wise to do not take risks or do not make mistakes. All human beings makes mistakes, but the wise man always learn from their mistakes. So you should learn it and you should try not to repeat it. The dog that barks much does not bite. Means that if you shouldn't speak a big mouth, you don't have to be a big mouth, but you have to reflect your aims, reflect your courage with your actions, not with your words. Because sometimes the person who likes to do show off, who likes to be big mouth, who likes to, you can say a lot of things, they cannot do anything. They cannot achieve anything because they don't have ability to do practical. So the lesson is that be practical. Try to reflect your words with your actions and do not rely on your words only because sometimes you speak a lot but you cannot do anything. So after that we discussed these punctuation marks, and these punctuation marks I explained the students that we have direct speech review. So to explain it I included short review which I'm going to include it again, so please listen and watch.
When we report what somebody has said or what we have heard somebody say, by using the actual words used by the speaker, we are said to be using direct speech. Let us look at a few examples of sentences in direct speech. I miss my family, cried Bogle. In this example, Bogle is the speaker. He said the words, I miss my family. Since Fleck's mother read out the same words that Bogle said to his friends, she has used direct speech. Let's look at another example of direct speech. Fleck said, you were busy in the kitchen. In this sentence, Fleck is the speaker. You were busy in the kitchen are the actual words used by Fleck while talking to his mother. Let us study the main parts of a sentence or report in direct speech. In direct speech, we use quotation marks or double inverted commas to mark the beginning and end of the actual words used by the speaker. The group of words within the quotation marks is called the quote. We can place the quote at the beginning or at the end of a sentence. The verb used outside the quotation marks is called the verb of speaking. In earlier examples, Quotation marks have been used in the beginning and end of the actual words used. In the first example, I miss my family is the quote, which comes at the beginning of the sentence. In the second example, you were busy in the kitchen is the quote.
So this is how we can use the quotations while reporting direct speech. Okay, these are called quotation marks or double inverted commas. Okay, we use them to highlight the original or actual words of the speakers. And then these are also called punctuation marks. So after that, we discussed some of the quotation marks and punctuation marks here as well. So this is the, you can say, question mark. Okay, this is comma, and this is the exclamation marks. English sentences or English writing is incomplete without these punctuation marks. So these punctuation marks reflects the meaning of the sentence as well sometime. So these are the very important. So I ask the students to identify them and practice them in your writing. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for your participation. Take care and goodbye.